Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we re-diving into a story that sounds like it is straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. A tale of billions of dollars, a mysterious tycoon, and a digital manhunt that has the entire crypto world buzzing. We're re-talking about the US government, reported seizure of a staggering $15 billion worth of Bitcoin from a man named Chen Zi, a powerful figure in Cambodia. This case isn't just about the massive sum of money. It's about a fundamental question that strikes at the very heart of cryptocurrency. Is Bitcoin really anonymous? Let's set the stage. The central figure here is Chen Zi, the chairman of Prince Group, a massive conglomerate in Cambodia with its hands in everything from real estate and banking to airlines. He's a naturalized Cambodian citizen and has been a very public figure, known for his business ventures and philanthropic efforts. However, behind this public facade, whispers and allegations have swirled for years, linking his operations to various illicit activities. This all came to a head when U.S. authorities reportedly zeroed in on his digital fortune. $15 billion. To put that into perspective, that's more than the annual GDP of dozens of countries. The sheer scale is mind-boggling. But the billion-dollar questioner in this case, the $15 billion questionee, is how? How did they find and seize a fortune that was supposed to be hidden behind the much-touted anonymity of the blockchain? For years, many of us in the crypto space have operated under the assumption that Bitcoin offers a high degree of privacy. Transactions are recorded on a public ledger, the blockchain. But they retied to pseudonymous wallet addresses, long strings of letters and numbers, not your real name and home address. As long as you don't link your real-world identity to your wallet, you're supposed to be in the clear. This event, however, throws a massive wrench into that theory. It suggests that for major government agencies with vast resources, the veil of blockchain anonymity is becoming increasingly thin, almost transparent. How could they have pulled this off? Let's explore the likely methods, because this is where it gets really interesting for anyone involved in digital assets. The first and most common point of failure for crypto privacy is the on-ramp and off-ramp. Talking about cryptocurrency exchanges. To buy Bitcoin with dollars or to cash it out, you almost always have to go through an exchange like Coinbase, Binance, or Kraken. These regulated platforms are required by law to implement strict Know Your Customer or KYC procedures. This means you have to submit your ID, your address, and sometimes even a selfie. Once you've done that, your real-world identity is forever linked to the wallet addresses you use on that platform. If investigators can get a court order or a subpoena for the exchange's records, which they regularly do, they can connect the dots. They can see which wallets belong to you and then trace every single transaction from those wallets across the entire blockchain. Let's imagine Chen Zi or his associates used a regulated exchange at some point. Maybe they bought their initial stash of Bitcoin there, or perhaps they moved funds through it to pay for something. That single link would be the thread that investigators could pull to unravel the entire network. The blockchain is a public, permanent record. Once they have a starting point, they can use powerful blockchain analysis tools from companies like Chainalysis or Elliptic. These tools are like search engines for the blockchain. They can map out clusters of activity, identify associated wallets, and follow the money trail through mixers and other obfuscation techniques. It's a digital breadcrumb trail, and these agencies are getting exceptionally good at following it. But what if he didn't use a major regulated exchange? What if he used peer-to-peer trading or over-the-counter OTC desks? These are often seen as more private avenues. Well, even here there are vulnerabilities. In a peer-to-peer transaction, you're still dealing with another person. If that person is an undercover agent, or if that person's own transactional history is later compromised, it can lead right back to you. OTC desks, especially those dealing in large volumes, are also under increasing regulatory scrutiny. They may not be as public as a centralized exchange, but they often keep their own meticulous records to protect themselves legally. If U.S. authorities leaned on them, those records could be handed over. Now, let's get into the more high-tech cloak-and-dagger stuff. Could they have used more direct methods? Absolutely. Think about digital forensics. If authorities managed to get physical access to a phone, a laptop, or a server belonging to Chen Zi or his network, it could be game over. These devices often contain the keys to crypto wallets, transaction histories, or communication logs discussing digital asset movements. A single compromised device could hold the private keys to billions of dollars in Bitcoin. This is why hardware wallets are so important. but even they aren't foolproof if someone physically coerces you to unlock it. Another possibility is good old-fashioned human intelligence. Inside sources. Someone within Chen Zi's organization could have become an informant. In high-stakes financial crime investigations, authorities often offer deals or protection to insiders in exchange for crucial information. An informant could provide wallet addresses, transaction details, or even the private keys themselves. In the world of high finance and shadowy dealings, loyalty is often a commodity, and a chance to avoid a long prison sentence is a powerful motivator. We can't discount the possibility that someone on the inside simply gave them the keys to the kingdom. This case also shines a bright light on the global reach of U.S. law enforcement. The transactions may have happened on a decentralized global network, and the suspect might be in Cambodia. But the investigation was led by the U.S. This is possible through international cooperation agreements and the sheer influence of the U.S. financial system. If any part of the money trail touched the U.S. banking system, or if a U.S.-based exchange or server was used, it gives them jurisdiction. They can work with local authorities in other countries like Cambodia to execute warrants and seize assets. The idea that you can hide from a major world power just by being in another country is quickly becoming a myth, especially when it comes to large-scale financial activities. So what does this mean for the average crypto user? Should you be worried that the government is going to seize your Bitcoin? For most people, probably not. This level of investigation is reserved for cases involving massive sums of money linked to serious crimes like fraud, money laundering, and sanctions evasion. We're talking about billion-dollar targets, not the person who bought a few $100s of Bitcoin. However, this case is a massive wake-up call. It proves that the anonymity of Bitcoin is a myth. It's pseudonymous at best, and that pseudonymity can be shattered with enough resources and legal authority. This fundamentally changes the risk calculation for anyone using crypto for illicit purposes. They now know that even if they use mixers, chain hop across different cryptocurrencies, and use every trick in the book, a determined and well-funded adversary can potentially trace it all. For the broader crypto community, it's a moment for reflection. It underscores the importance of true privacy-preserving technologies and coins like Monero or Zcash, which use different cryptographic methods to obscure transaction details by default. But it also highlights that the mainstream adoption of crypto will likely come with more regulation and less privacy, not more. Governments are not going to sit by and allow a parallel financial system to operate completely outside of their view. In the end, the seizure of Chen Zi's $15 billion in Bitcoin isn't just a news story. It's a landmark event. It's a demonstration of power and a signal to the world that the long arm of the law is extending into the digital frontier. It proves that while the code may be law on the blockchain, in the real world, the law of the land still reigns supreme. We'll be watching this case closely to see what other details emerge, because the full story has yet to be told. But one thing is for sure, the age of crypto innocence is over. Thanks for tuning in today. This is a complex topic, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think is the most likely way they tracked these funds? Drop your theories in the comments below. If you found this breakdown insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of crypto. We'll see you in the next video.